Hi everybody, so I just wanted to talk to you about the new glow up I'm super excited about. Let me give you a rundown of the schedule. So around 5 a.m. I'm going to get up and do wind sprints. Then after I get back, I'm going to juice some green veggies, get that good bit going for yourself. And then I'm going to do about a 10K walk because even though I need a chair to get around the kitchen, I can walk 5K. Nothing will succeed like success, and each one of these little things builds up.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm just setting a new standard for, our channel.
I can't anymore.
You guys like my nails? Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Marc's around, and this is SmokeySteveAndMarc. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. Good to be seen, good to see y'all. We're in a much better spot than we were last week at this time. As you can tell, the set's different. We moved. So it'll look a little rough for a while, but thank you for joining us. Today we're going to continue talking about our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, The Beezer Show, and Foodie Beauty again. So I wasn't here for a couple weeks because we moved. And the videos a couple before that I did a couple lives. So back to the old format with what works and try to keep it moving from there. So thank you for all the well wishes and checking in on us, by the way. We're doing pretty good and thanks for caring. So we're going to pick up sort of in the last probably week or shorter. Reason being, I haven't been up for everyone freaking knows what happened. It's all the same bullshit. I changed my mind. I made fun of Dee Dee. Picked up an immigrant. It's all the usual stuff. So there was nothing too new about it. But I did want to cover about 4 or 5 points and then pull out some examples to try to flesh that out. So Blackout is something that happened over the past period of time. There was an effort to make her irrelevant for like a day, maybe or so, or proposing a few days a week, promising not to talk about Natter and Dee Dee. Okay. Let's see. Men are coming out of thin air to come see her. Just every time she turns her phone on, there's a huge fucking bunch of texts, tons of them, directly at her because she is a vixen, a confident sex kitten. She's none of these things. But, she wants... You add that to the filter and you're basically meeting a stranger. So, the arrogance of her tells kind of the whole tale. I mean, it's obviously all her talk of self-love and ambition, and it's all crap. I mean, it's come to be all crap. We were going to go to Turkey, we were going to go to Egypt, we were going to go to Italy. Instead, we decided to go to my desk and order food. So, what do I think going forward? And this glow-up arc, which we mentioned in the beginning. So, let's see. Let's talk about the Blackout. Now, Blackout in this context was people who were haters, viewers, reactors. There was a call to make her irrelevant. So it was going to be a blackout, which she caught wind of and was probably actually a little more upset than I thought. She got her belligerent, you won't make it without me. It's your fault, Monty. It's your fault this. It's your fault that. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone else is responsible for her disgusting behavior, but her. So, blacking out? Well, we didn't. We were busy. We were on YouTube Blackout for a while. It riled her feathers a little bit, but it didn't seem to worry her. She has so many subscribers. It's 92.4, I think. 92,000.400. And she's, going to attract people anyway. Even through the most vile crap that she did, including the Cuba Bees and all the other ones, she might take a hit for 150 subs, but she gains 300 back. And because they're new, suckers, they will become VIBs probably. Maybe they'll join the other scams too, like, OnlyFans and stuff like that. So, Chantal's response was to do something extra crazy. If that doesn't just put attention seeking right out front, I don't know what it is. If you're going to ignore me, I'm going to make you acknowledge me. Happy 15th birthday, Chantal. So, attention seeking. The other attention seeking that was going on this week too, we had at least one FUPA appearance, and things that I'm not as respectfully, I'm not as familiar with some parts of female anatomy, but she seems to have parts other women don't for some reason. Let's see. She retaliates against people who suggest anything than her complete correctness. So even if you are trying to give her a compliment, if she doesn't like the way you said it, how you said it, or it doesn't include all of her, like if you say, wow, Chantal, your personality is really stinking right now. And her reply was, how dare you call me fat? You're conveniently missing the point that this is very little to do with your weight. I know, they talk shit, so do you. Fair's fair, okay? If you're gonna run your mouth about other people, they're gonna run it back. This isn't the house you grew up in where you get your way and everybody else just lives uncomfortably to avoid conflict. That's not how YouTube seems to work. So, let's see here. She had some other stuff too. She had gone through, I'll talk about them later. But her striking thing, which she said she didn't do, was out again for Reactors, pretty much, because no one wants to hear 5 people say you're wrong, even if you are. It could probably feel like a lot, but nevertheless, there were things that she was putting up in content going forward. What do we want to talk about? The menzies? Do we want to talk? Not menzies. God. Her men. The men of Blanche's boudoir, pretty much. So, consistently, these men have a certain profile. You know, like, you know how, like, serial crime committers have a certain profile of their, we could maybe use the word victim, that they are poor, to some degree, unemployed, barely speak English, like, enough that it's a communication barrier, probably, that, like, Natter, for example, his English was shit. But he's not from an English-speaking country. However, plenty of people aren't, and if they move to one that is, they take a freaking free class at the YMCA or something so that they can get through the supermarket without having to mumble and point. You know, ignorance of that kind is, to some degree, a choice. If I was going to move to Egypt and it was just to flee violence here, no, I probably wouldn't have had enough time to learn any language over there. But once I was there, I'd like to think, and maybe I don't know myself well, I would like to think I did something to help me integrate into that culture and then that community, and language seems to be one of the bigger ways that that gets done. So, all right, so let me just share a few thoughts also about her being the kind of person who is vengeful. She's very vengeful, and she only points the direction at 2 places for her behavior: reaction to somebody else's behavior and poor impulse control. What a convenient set of symptoms to have. It means that you don't have to change at all, and that everyone should accommodate it. Okay, so, all right. With the attention-seeking, flashing cameras, retaliate against people who suggest she's anything other than incredible as a person. She had her comments off for several days, so she didn't want feedback. She didn't want to read it. She doesn't read the comments anyway, but for whatever reason, she didn't want them there at all. Okay. Posting borderline, like, mentally unwell things is not cute. It's not quirky. Trying to mess with other people's real lives, going through doxing and stuff like that. Okay, that's grimy. It's grimy. This is not my opinion that it's grimy. It's grimy. It's self-serving. It's meant purely to make the other person feel bad, and maybe your self-satisfaction of, I handled that well. Every one of these guys she's handled well are fake. They don't exist. She's trying to make Natter jealous by mentioning the other men in her life. So we had Roman, and then there was Mr. Coffee, motorcycle guy, all of these, like, things she wrote. And the problem she was having is that she lost track of her lies. Don't mind if I do. Because she couldn't keep them straight. There was an issue with a gentleman, for example, who, as of recently, was supposed to go to Chantal's. And she was bragging, petting her wig. You know, I am, so desired. This man, who is a traveling business person of some sort, travels for work, is going to find transportation to Ottawa. Okay. Uber? Bus? He's a traveling salesman. He doesn't have a car. Nothing. Driving 3 hours. One of them is, as Pete's put it, sounds desperate to me. Very frank, totally put her on blast. She started that little quick blinking thing, like she does when she's caught, and she just wants everyone to think it's cute that she lies. Like, it's not endearing, it's not cute. It makes people not trust a person, not believe what they say. And when there's an ass ton of evidence of that kind of thing, people just don't take her seriously. She's not anyone to contend with, I think, for a lot of folks. I'll talk about some of the reactors she was trying to lay into to distract from the fact that her love life is over and that she's ridiculously jealous of the situation Dee Dee's in. Even if she thinks she is being hurt or abused in any way, she would still take her place if she thought she could. So, let's see. Promising trust and believe, as far as this is my last Natter video, this is my last Dee Dee video, this is my last this. 45 minutes later, she'll be watching their content, which she says she doesn't, and she'll be watching it like all day. That's obsessive, because it's not for entertainment value. I imagine she sits there and screams at the TV, and if she says something she thinks is intelligent, she'll text it to him. If you leave people alone and they don't come back around, that's a reflection on you, also about their ideas about character. I mean, Natter's just a fart in the wind when it comes to, I mean, I got nothing. The sooner he goes away off YouTube, the better. Dee Dee had my liking at first, but she's probably the most likable of the three of them. But she maybe buries a little bit of, a little sassiness, a little arrogance herself, a little I got him, you didn't. Not as much as Chantal would, because she's raging and screaming that everything this couple is doing 2 hours away from her is to make her jealous. People are going to move in strangers. You know, they're going to move someone in that they don't really know, just to get them away from that situation, just to get away from it. So, I can't drive a man cross country. I used to have my exes. Two moved to Canada, one moved to Louisiana, and then there was another one in freaking Alabama. I don't know where I met these guys, but they all split up. So after they broke my heart, I probably pissed them off. They took off, and they found the next love of their life right after me. Everyone I knew I was the last boyfriend before they met the person they were going to marry. Well, I'm getting married now, too, so it doesn't matter. October 22nd. Probably in the evening. So trust and believe, no, you are not trusted or believed at all. So just to kind of put it back on the, you can't believe anything she says. You can't. I mean, what? And trust builds by watching your actions line up with your words and your intentions. Her motivation for everything that's happened with Natter and Dee Dee was spite and jealousy. And the longer she goes on saying she doesn't care, the more obvious it is that she does care. Her and Natter kind of met their match with each other. Each one thought the other one would be a pushover. He probably thought, oh, I'm attractive, because he probably did, and can dance like ABBA. And he's going to take advantage of her. She's wealthy. She's single. She doesn't have as many prospects as probably other people might, just given her personality. There's plenty of guys that like big girls. That's not the issue. So I can't. So the reactors this week, she went after. There was a few in the last couple. Now, I don't usually watch Yabba. I don't. I used to, but when she switched over to lives and not recorded videos, I kind of lost interest, because I think her talking, editing, and putting it together is good. She comes off with some great one-liners, too. But I like it when she was very measured with the kind of things she was making. So I'm watching Yabba, talking about her, Chantal, and the stream goes out midstream. Okay, nothing to do with that. There's another reactor called Garlic Bread, which is the cutest title for a video. Again, someone who puts her on blast, takes segments of her words, holds the mirror up to her, and because she doesn't like her own reflection, she blames the person holding the mirror. There are people that make fun of her for being fat, and it's shitty and it's petty and it's juvenile. That doesn't make it untrue. So she still has the challenges that a big person would have in this world. Big. I did call her fat. Well, big. We'll go with big. So, let's see. Comments are off for several days. When comments go off with her, she's only borderline, didn't choke on that word, not feeling herself, usually. So, do forgive the notes, but it's been a minute since I've gone through. So we talked about the men in her life, and they're consistently broke and don't speak much English and don't drive. That's how she kind of sets up power from the beginning, I think. She has access to these things that other people wouldn't. She knows it, which makes her the golden calf. No offense. And they would come and try to get something out of her. She thought she was going to take advantage of some poor, dumb immigrant. She'd sleep with him when she wanted to, and if he got out of pocket, she'd have him arrested. And then she tried to, again. So, there's news on Natter. He's still alive. There's your news on Natter. So, the men who like her. Okay, the men who like Foodie Beauty, because the men's are kind of her thing now. That's how she's presenting herself to the rest of us, that she's desirable, sought after. You know, I've had a lot of dates growing up, and I had a lot of casual encounters. And generally, those were with people that I didn't particularly care for beyond having physical kind of fun with them. Nothing wrong with her exploring that as well. But her intentions are to bewitch, bewilder, and manipulate. Not just to have a good time. She doesn't know how. She catches feelings in a heartbeat, and she thinks every action of everyone else is directed at her. Because she's the center of the universe. All things exist in relation to Chantal. I guess. I don't know. So. Alright. So she's got a lot of problems. That's not new. Why is it a video? Because I felt, there was another channel I followed, and I felt that the individual, while lived a life that made me ill, that person we stopped talking about, and that person did eventually start going away. So I can see the Blackout thing having a little bit of truth to it and having that work. But she's been using her channel, like I said, just to get men, to make Natter jealous. I don't think he cares. To get in on Dee Dee. I don't think she cares. She lives among filth, paints her face with yesterday's makeup, or didn't take it off, shoves her armpits into her bra, and calls them boobs. You know, am I making fun of her physically? Is it untrue? It's not mean if it's untrue. She'd be the first one to say that she pulls all the fat from her back and jams it up here and here. And it really makes the scalp, it really just sets the whole thing off. So where do we go from here? So just to continue a little bit as well, going forward, if she wants any credibility, and I don't think she cares because no one trusts her anyway, actions, words line up. And that's not because she has, you know, it's good advice to folks with substance use concerns because priorities tend to get skewed a little bit, or those who deal with untreated or unaddressed mental health concerns as well. She likes having those. It gets her out of responsibility, she thinks sometimes. I've been off and on mentally ill for years. Well, in recovery and not recovery, and even since the channel's been on, I've been in the hospital. But I didn't go so I could make a video or try to get back at somebody or get out of something by going. I went because I was unwell. There's an old Italian saying, and I forget the translation, but it's they don't make pills for assholes. And that kind of sums it up. So if she lives to 40, and I hope she does, because, you know, she'd be a huge turnaround story if she ever did as such. I hope if and when she gets to her goals, that she enjoys them. You know, you don't get thin, rich, or pretty to try to show somebody up. Hate and revenge can be a motivation for a glow up or a change, but not in this sort of context, I don't think. So, parading stories of men around who want her. It's not her weight, it's the least of her problems. She talks about being body shamed all the time. Her weight is the least unattractive thing about her, and that's saying a lot. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get another person in here to give a few thoughts. Marc? Yeah? Could you come in here, please? He's in the East Wing. Okay. Come hither, Marc.
I'm coming.
He's a sport. Y'all remember Marc?
Hi, everybody. It's been a while, huh?
I know, we're just settled in. Oh, yesterday's video, if you want to see anything about the moving, you can check that out.
Oh, yeah, we did a little tour of the new place and everything.
Forgot
That's
about
kind of
that.
cool, yeah.
But back to our fair lady.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, this is coffee talk. We must.
We must. I didn't even have coffee today. It's got to be something like
Right? I'd like to say this is a good substitution for coffee, but I don't think that it is.
No. 5 hours of her live streams are like visual Ambien.
God bless you, my child. God bless you. I couldn't do it. I have to admit, over the last 2 weeks, we were a little busy, with the move and everything, and I hadn't watched. And boy, was it nice.
Yeah. Food tastes better. Conversation's better. My hair's growing back.
Right. Oh my gosh. But I did get caught up today a little bit, and whew, my goodness. I'm sure you covered a lot of it already, but
but what's happening in real time right now?
In real time right now. So I thought I would take a different approach, a different look. Normally I come on and I kind of just give my little 2 cents on predominantly her substance use, because that's what I do for a living. And but look, I mean, do we really want to hear that every week? Nothing's changed. Absolutely. This entire everything that's going on right now is under the umbrella of substance use. It is. Nothing has changed. Things would look a lot different if those drugs were removed. And of course, that can't be proven, or that won't happen until that happens. But if and when it does happen, I think things would look a lot different. Yeah. At least get back to where we were over a year ago.
I know, mukbangs weren't a great stop, but they were...
But they were something.
They weren't this last stop that we're at now.
Right? Yeah. So I thought I would do something a little different, and I think what we'll do is take a look at what's happening on Twitter. How about that? I can't get any more up to date than that, right?
You can't.
So check it out. First thing that everyone's talking about right now, TOS, y'all. People are getting fed up with her continued breach of terms of service on YouTube, and it's the nudity and the lying, the manipulating, and the graphic sex talks. And now this is not an age restricted channel. This is just her presenting what she wants to present, and the bullying and the attacking and all of this, the same thing that she claims and strikes other channels for doing. Yeah. And people are getting tired of it. There has been tweet after tweet after tweet to Team YouTube about it. And for every 1,000 that goes there, they may get 1 response from Team YouTube, And all it is if you think that this person is violating terms of service, here's the link. Submit it. They're getting nowhere with it, and it seems like there's almost a campaign going on now to continue to report her channel for these terms of service breaches, And I have to say, I do agree with this. Watching these videos over the past week, and this is one of the reasons she dirty deletes them too. Yeah, she knows she's going to get in trouble for some of these things, and you cannot use the excuse of, oh, it was an accident, for showing your ass crack again.
9, 10 times.
Right.
It's no accident. You're just gross.
Can't do it. So that's definitely what's happening in real time on Twitter is all of this breaching of terms of service. And moving on, Roman. Okay, so Roman, apparently this was a meetup of a man that she was interested in, I suppose.
If you were a prostitute, you'd probably call it a date.
Yes, right. Well, apparently, she did meet up with him, and they got together, and they had a little make-out session or whatever. Apparently had a very, very nice time, according to her. Yeah. Well, Roman kind of responded a little bit, and basically basically, in a nutshell, he's just not that into her.
Yeah.
He said she's not his type of girl, blah, blah, blah. Well, this didn't sit well with her.
No.
And we're all talking on Twitter about it. You know, she came back very, I believe her boobs were in a bunch over this one because she was denied by somebody else again, right? And she outright told the whole story. She said, you know, Roman, you are a liar. We met on Plenty of Fish. We got together. I picked you up at the clinic. Okay, to come over. We came over. We had a really nice time. We made out. And let me tell you, you couldn't keep your hands off of me. You were all over me.
Yeah, you were taking up the whole bed.
Yeah, right. Probably because there was nowhere else. Yeah, I get it.
Just saying.
Right.
I'm not
Just
fat
saying.
shaming.
We don't know.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair.
You want to make fun of dick sizes, age, ability, language proficiency?
Right.
Screw you. You're fat.
Right. And then she goes on to say that she's tired of all of these men, okay, showing interest in her, getting with her, getting a huge following, and then denying her. Well, okay. My response to that is, can we take a look at the common denominator with all of this?
Her.
It's her. Maybe take a look at yourself, make some changes, and maybe you could get more of a quality of a guy. Maybe you could even get a healthy relationship, maybe.
Gasp, clutch the pearls.
Maybe, you never know. But all of these men that she's dating and seeing and hooking up with, this is all as a retaliation of what's going on with Natter.
And she thinks he cares a lot.
Yes, and it's to throw it in his face. It's not about finding love for herself. It's not even about a booty call. You know, he has permeated her entire being, and everything that she does is a direct result of her situation with Natter. And it is pretty sad. And on those terms, meanwhile, is Natter's channel demonetized? I don't know. I guess we'll see. And Dee Dee herself has spoken out as well. And I'm glad that she's speaking out. You know, it's pretty sad that where we're at now with Chantal and Foodie Beauty and Natter and all this whole thing is that this guy, Natter, is coming off well more liked than her. It's just bizarre to me, but this is where we're at now with this, right? And Dee Dee's comment, you know, is, you know, she's totally obsessed, you know, just go on with your life. Move on. It is sad and it is wrong what you're doing. And again, I have to agree. I have to agree with this.
I used to be a bigger fan of Dee Dee, but like when you're right, you're right.
When you're right, you're right.
So...
Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, she's constantly attacking Dee Dee, and it's because she doesn't like her, and you know she brings her family into it, and it is just wrong. Yeah, right. It is. It's just wrong. I mean, I totally agree with it. I don't know. So, you know, good for her for speaking out. You know, again, I don't know too much about Dee Dee. I really don't. I only know what I've seen over the past few months or whatever. She seems a lot more stable to me than Chantal does. She is with Natter. They both claim that they are just friends, and I do think that whether they're friends or not, I just think that them saying that they're just friends even eats at Chantal even more. You know, like
because he'd rather not only he's like I don't even need to be intimate with this woman. To get more out of this relationship than he got out of the one with her.
And it really irritates Chantal, and she cannot get over it. So my personal take on all of this, absolutely, we are still using drugs, poly, like many different drugs. It is overshadowing and kind of like influencing every single thing that she does in her life. Everything. Not just their little live videos. Everything that she does in her life. Bravo for Pete's. He's getting a little like...
Ooh, he's getting the digs in.
Isn't he getting the digs in? Ooh. I am loving it.
Like
I have to say.
Called that pathetic, you know.
Oh, man.
And then when she was playing costume with religious garments.
Yes.
Pete's had something to say about that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now,
you know,
Pete drives me up a wall, and I'm relatively liberal, and he still makes me look like you
yes,
know,
yeah,
like
right.
I was at CCAT this weekend.
Oh yeah. But it's nice when he gets those digs in. It's kind of funny, you know, and you can just see her expression in her
I know,
eyes.
and it's not done
great.
with malice.
No, it's not.
just an
He's such a
observation.
matter of fact kind of.
Yeah.
The way he presents
if you ask him what he
things,
thinks,
you know.
he'll say it. And then, you know,
Yeah.
she was feeling a little proud of herself for
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah.
And he was like, it sounds desperate.
Yeah.
Of both of them.
Yeah. And then finally, yeah, my personal take is I think overall all of this, I just have to agree with Dee Dee. Move the F
Move
on. You are going to get nowhere. Your life is going to continue to get worse, emotionally, physically, everything about it. And I think that if it continues like this, we're going to see jail, eviction, God forbid, death, accidents. You know, that is just the natural root of this.
And
know?
it's not
I
necessarily
don't
right.
wish it on anybody.
No.
But if nothing changes, you know, it's just going to continue to spiral out of control, you know. So I don't know. That's my personal take on everything that's going on, and that's what's happening in Twitterverse right now.
Well, thank you, Mark. Very
was
much.
that good?
That was very good.
Okay, I think I kind of like that.
That's good. Keeps it current.
Keeps it a little current,
real
you know. And we
time.
are on Twitter, but we're not very active on it. So I think
nothing good
this
happens on Twitter.
This will get me like a little more engaged with Twitter a little bit, I think. So
Well, thank
anyway, nice to see everybody. Take care.
Will do. We're just about to wrap up.
Okay.
Thanks. So what have we wrought? And what does this look like going forward? Chantel, for someone who changes her mind a lot, doesn't actually change. She's doing the same things and making these choices and believes everyone's motivation, the men especially, is because they all want her. And that Dee Dee and Natter are so jealous of her. She perceives everything they do as an attack on her, though. She doesn't comprehend having other things going on in your life. She only has like 2 at a time, and that's if she's eating. So she doesn't have, you know what I mean? I don't know. Well, here's hoping things get better for everybody involved, because none of these people are batting 1,000. Not that I am myself, but I'm not broadcasting those aspects of my life. You know, I've never pulled up to someone's house and instigated one of you guys to try to call the cops because I had my feelings hurt. So, strong, independent woman? Maybe later. Not right now. Trying everything in the world to get her ex's attention, and they were only together a week. I don't care how nice Toronto was. If he's the guy hurting you, allegedly, and the guy you're in love with, allegedly, sort it out. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Email address and contact info is all listed below as well. Thank you again, and we'll be joining you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. for our regular Sunday live. We're getting back in the saddle as best we can. So thank you all for watching. Please feel free to leave comments below. Fact-checking is something I invite because I don't want to spread bad information. So if you have known better than I did during some of the video, please leave it below so we can all be in the loop. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.